It's 6 a.m. Keith's alarm goes off. He gets on his bike and heads downtown to the financial district. Keith is a San Francisco native. He knows the city, and specifically Bayview, like the back of his hand.
Staying long in San Francisco, I always had jobs from the age of 14 on up. Me getting into this electrician career was the best thing ever. We actually have life inside lights, and the only way life gets there is through these connections.
When Keith comes home from work, he usually heads over to his mom's house. She was diagnosed with MS when he was a teenager, so Keith does everything he can to take care of her.
I have to stay in San Francisco so I can be close. I'm 5 minutes away from my mom. I have to be close to my mom.
On the weekends, Keith takes his niece and nephew dirt biking around his favorite parts of the city. Or at least, he used to. It's been much harder since they've been pushed out of the city.
To me, that was a heartbreaking moment. My sister moving away from where I stay.
Unfortunately, it wasn't just his sister. So many of Keith's friends who he grew up with have also been pushed out.
Raymond got evicted. The person across the street from me, his sister just got evicted. A lot of this happens, and it's not about, wrong or right. It's about we want the space for somebody else. So we got to get you up out of here.
So many people that Keith loves have left the city. That's why he does all he can to make life easier for the other SF natives left.
So what I do right now when I help some of my neighbors is sometimes I change some of their fixtures, some of they got circuits in the house that they need to be in. I change those. I just do certain little things for my neighbors.
But when Keith's last construction job ended, things went haywire. The very next day, Keith had a 10-day notice on his door.
I felt like I got swindled. I paid my rent on time. I did this, I did that. And every time my pay changed, I went there and showed them. What I feel like now, I feel not out of place, but I feel marked as I walk. I feel like 1,000 eyes are watching me. You know what I mean? Especially with this vest on. They don't expect me to have a job.
Our system almost guarantees a bad result if you can't get legal help. Our best estimates are that a whopping 80% of low-income people with civil legal problems get no help whatsoever. None. Stories like Keith's are why we founded Open Door Legal. We started in 2013 in the Bayview because we believed that it was the least served part of our city. And despite the fact that we're now expanding across San Francisco, Bayview will always be our home. When Keith was born, Bayview was 75% African American. Now it's 20%. And that didn't happen by accident. A little rent miscalculation here, a fraudulent notice to quit there, a refusal to fix substandard housing. The list goes on. The displacement of this community was intentional and illegal. In other words, the evisceration of the Black community in San Francisco was propelled by a refusal from bad actors to treat them fairly and by their exclusion from the legal system. Where Keith saw a neighborhood filled with friends and family, some people saw only a resource to be exploited. On this map, you can see the location of every client we've had in Bayview. On almost every residential block, we've had 5 or more clients. So far, we've kept over 250 people in their homes who were facing eviction and helped get over 170 people into housing. Fast forward to 2020, we've expanded to 3 new offices. Last year alone, we handled 670 cases like Keith's. This year, we project to handle 850. We took on Keith's case and fought the eviction. In just over a month, we got the entire case thrown out.
That was the best experience I ever had. I felt like somebody actually understood me and actually had my back besides saying, well, I don't think that's true. I don't think, she actually went with it and actually seeing that I was telling the truth by paperwork and everything else.
It doesn't stop there. Keith also connected us with his mom. It is neither right nor legal that someone like her, struggling with MS, would be denied the care they are owed under Social Security. We took on his mother's case and are working to give her a fully funded caregiver. When your landlord sends you a fraudulent notice, it can feel like a tragedy. When a similar thing happens to you and everyone you know over the course of decades, it can feel like a system. And that is the work we're inviting all of you to participate in tonight. It's not just about individual cases. Universal access is about confronting a system. And if we all work together, we can change that system. We can protect Keith, his family, and his friends. We can fight for his community and his roots and his life. Because people like Keith make San Francisco light up. Let's keep it that way. Thank you.